Hello. You got me? Can you see me all right? I haven't really checked this one. Okay, so I've just been out here meditating for a bit. I just did a video on that, actually. And I wanted to talk about happiness. Seems to be a big thing for a lot of people. And trying to be happy, needing to be happy, wanting to be happy. You've got to be happy. Strive to be happy. You happy? You're not happy. That's not good. There's a lot of pressure on us to be happy, and it might sound a little bit strange to say it, but happiness isn't, it's not the ultimate kind of answer. It's not ultimately what we're looking for deep inside. We think it is, because if you're happy, everything's all right. But have you ever noticed being happy is completely and utterly unsustainable? You can be happy for a while. You're happy for quite a while, certain things are lining up, this is happening, that's happening, this is good, I'm feeling good, my health's nice, my health's good. So you're happy then, But then something happens, a few things happen, you're not as well, maybe there's a relationship breakup, you have an argument with your friend, the weather's not that good, you went somewhere, the food was a bit average, your happiness is just, it's just kind of not quite as happy as you were. You're still relatively happy. Anyway, you probably guessed, there's a little bit of sarcasm under this, so I apologize for that. Because I was, that was what everyone teaches you. That's what I was taught as well. So what happens when you're not happy? Well, first thing that comes up is you feel kind of more unhappy for not being happy. Because you know that you're supposed to be happy and you want to be happy. You're not really feeling happy. So you end up being unhappy about that. It sounds a bit weird, but you see, it's predominantly the feeling behind, like the secondary feeling or the thought concept and construct of what is behind the original experience. This is making sense. That is the main problem. So a few things have happened. You're not that happy. And because of your training and because of the way we've been brought up and what we've read and what you see in the movies and all that stuff, you go, well, the secondary thought construct is I should be happy, I'm not feeling happy, and I'm feeling a bit unhappy about that situation. And that's the one that makes you feel bad. The actual original things that are happening that have set up the thoughts around feeling unhappy actually isn't bad at all. First of all, you deem a few things as not being correct in your life. Because, you've got, this is the way, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, all your patterns, everything that you've, throughout your whole life that you've kind of added up, your likes and your dislikes, and you try and have everything in your life that you like and that works for you, and everything that doesn't work for you, you don't like, that's out of your life. I don't know whether you've noticed, but that's impossible. It's very, maybe not impossible, I don't know. It's very, very difficult. It's always, people are unpredictable. Things happen. If you're not doing, beautiful yoga every day and eating perfectly and looking after your health in every form, you will get sick from time to time. If you're stressing, if you're busy, you're working too much, you'll definitely get ill, and your energy levels will drop. And it's hard to be happy then, isn't it? That doesn't really fit the description of you being happy, that kind of exterior viewpoint of yourself. This is me being happy. I'm this way, and now I'm not so happy. So, what's the answer to that? Well, when you learn to live more consciously in the present moment, you learn how to be, all these words that describe a oneness with the present moment, a connectivity with whatever's happening. Happiness isn't really that important anymore, because you start to feel just this, it's kind of like just a pleasantness, underlying feeling of, you just feel okay, and I have to be honest, it's much better to feel a kind of contentment and a feeling of, you can get different levels of this, but just starting off with just everything's okay. To feel like that most of the time is brilliant. I'm really happy, oh no, I'm sad, and I'm really happy, and this is happening, and now, and this is, being on that roller coaster, it puts your body, your nervous system, your mind, it puts your whole system through hell. It's not good, and it's the way most people seem to be living. A lot of people don't even get to experience many of those happy moments because, they're in such a low state. It's very hard for them to kind of line up to those momentary experiences of happiness. So, I'm not saying it's easy, because it's all part of the practice. It's like it's a new way of living. It's a new way. The mind has to be retrained. You have to unlearn what you've learned. But I'm just sharing something that I've experienced firsthand. When I dropped I was never really into those positive kind of thinking books. It didn't really work for me. Like you can only be positive, and if you have been a bit negative or things aren't working for you, you beat yourself up about that, you see. So if you stop the process of beating yourself up for feeling a certain way, you're much more likely to feel better more often. And the practice for that is pretty well awareness. So that's the practice of noticing your thoughts, being the watcher. So you have an experience and you go, oh, right, I'm thinking this, and this. Is that kind of working for me or not? You don't really have to go into it too much, because just the noticing of what you're thinking is actually the powerful part. I'm a bit of an analyst. I'm not an analyst, but I always analyze things to the max, and that was part of the reason why, I struggled with my mind, because I had to analyze everything. But so I'll analyze the thoughts. I'll be, well, I'm having a thought there that's coming up that's saying this isn't working, that's not correct for whatever reason, and I'm, well, is that thought serving me or not? Is it a good thought? Is it making me feel good? No, it's not. So noticing your thoughts, awareness practice, and I lost my train of thought a little bit there. So Buddha was very big on that. That's his practice of awareness, basically. One he kind of taught awareness, being aware of everything that's happening. Yeah, okay. Look, I don't do editing on these videos, so if I lose my train of thought, I haven't kind of really thought about what I'm going to talk about in much depth other than just a little concept. But I will go over similar topics again and again because a lot of them are worth repeating for sure. So, drop being trying to be happy. Acceptance, bingo, that's what I was going to talk about. Acceptance is a huge one. I'll go on and on about it. Surrender and acceptance go hand in hand. I think of surrender as a kind of next level of acceptance. Some situations, bad weather, for example, you can accept that something more difficult happens. Perhaps you're under some kind of duress or pain. Surrender has to be brought in. If you can accept and surrender any situation, you can have peace all the time. You can't have a quiet mind and you can't practice presence. You can't be connected and you can't be fully conscious if you cannot accept the present moment as it is. Everything. Everything you're feeling, everything that's going on, everything that's been said. The weather's not so good today. Not today, but for example, it's raining, it's cloudy, it's cold. Can you be happy today? It'd be easier to be happy on a sunny day, wouldn't it? Blue sky. And look, I admit, it's beautiful. But through the power of acceptance, that cold, seemingly miserable day can be profoundly beautiful. I've experienced it firsthand. A little bit harder to accept, definitely, especially if the body's uncomfortable. But you accept it, the body feels cold, that's fine. It starts to feel, instead of the thoughts around it feeling not good, it starts to feel fresh, crisp. The air, all this kind of beauty starts to come out of it. The sound of the rain, the sound of the wind, the grey colours. I don't know whether you've ever noticed, but how incredibly beautiful all the wildlife and the trees look against, darker grey backgrounds. It's like a painting. So, again, not trying to be happy, but through acceptance of that present moment, I'm just working on being conscious. A degree of the door opens for you to feel something deeper than a superficial happiness that never lasts anyway. And you can live your whole life this way, every moment of every day. And that's what it means to be conscious, to live consciously, to be present, to be. All those words, to feel peaceful, feel contentment. It's much better than periodically feeling a little bit happy or, oh, I'm so excited about this. Expectations. And if you're not feeling good, you're not happy, accept that. Very important. Don't make a meal out of it if you can help it. Watch your thoughts closely and just, it's okay. I'm not feeling that great today. Again, different levels of acceptance or surrender might be needed. For example, I got up really early this morning and I thought I'd try something a bit different. I had a slightly frustrating yoga session by myself. So I'm a bit tired. Now, if I don't accept that, it'll frustrate me, because being tired affects your concentration, and if your concentration is affected, it can be harder to be in the present moment, depending on what your practice is, because a lot of it depends on focus. But if you just totally accept it, I'm feeling tired, and I've experienced this many times recently, that feeling of being tired in the body and in the head ends up being kind of nice. It's like this fuzziness, and you just feel like, actually feels more like being relaxed. Isn't it funny about the words that we put to things? I'm tired. It's not good. You don't feel good about that. The secondary kind of motion again. Not the first one. The actual feeling is fine if you can accept it. And if you do accept it, it's the difference between I'm tired, or you accept it, I'm tired. It's okay. And it's okay, it really is. So anyway, look, I'll talk about this subject and others more, and let me know if there's a subject you want me to cover, because I can do that. All right, well, that's it for now. So best of luck. See ya.